How long does it take to become a patent attorney? In this video, I'm going to lay out all the requirements that it takes to become a patent attorney and the timeline that it generally takes to go through each of those steps. Also, be sure to stick around to the very end because I'm going to give you some tips on ways that you can actually start working in patents much sooner without having to fully become a patent attorney, and you can actually have a career doing these things and maybe even never become a patent attorney and kind of do the same sort of stuff. So we are starting right now. So for those of you who are new here, my name is Dylan Adams. I'm a patent attorney and author of the best-selling book, Patents Demystified, which is an insider's guide to protecting ideas and inventions used by inventors, entrepreneurs, and startups worldwide, including top universities like Harvard, Stanford, and MIT. It's also used to train new law students and other people who are learning about patents and the practice of patent law. You also might recognize me from my appearance on CNBC's hit show, The Profit. So this channel is typically about, talking with the practice of patent law, things that are advice for inventors, entrepreneurs, and startups, but also has some good information on people who are considering becoming a patent attorneys or working in the patent field. So be sure to subscribe, hit that little bell icon so you don't miss any important videos about patents. All right, let's go ahead and get right into it. So first off, what are the requirements to be called a patent attorney? And really it has kind of the two things in the name. So one is, if you're going to be a patent attorney, you need to be an attorney. So you need to go to law school, you need to pass the bar in at least one state. Now, to become a patent attorney, you need to take a special bar called the patent bar. And the patent bar is administered by the United States Patent and Trademark Office. And just like a state bar, it may make sure that you know how to practice patent law specifically. And patent attorneys or patent lawyers or patent counsel are very special when it comes to attorneys, because we are some of the few attorneys who can actually hold ourselves out as experts in a given field. Most attorneys can say, hey, I focus my practice on something, hey, I practice in this area. But patent attorneys are the only folks who can actually call themselves, ex-attorney. Like say someone who works in trademarks or who works in litigation, they can't say I'm a litigation expert or I'm a trademark expert, because they don't have a specialized bar that defines that they have a specialty in that. They're just attorneys who may focus on certain things. But a patent attorney is somebody who is an attorney who has passed the patent bar, who's been recognized by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, that they have the specific skills that allows them to represent clients before the United States Patent and Trademark Office. So what does it take to be able to sit for this patent bar that allows you to practice before the United States Patent and Trademark Office? Surprisingly, you don't actually need to be an attorney to sit for the patent bar. Okay? All you need to have is an undergraduate degree or an equivalent in some sort of technical science or engineering. Okay? Now the reason behind that is because someone who practices as a patent attorney needs to understand inventions of their clients as well, if not better, than those folks. It's a very technical thing. So a lot of what us patent attorneys do is we're writing very detailed disclosures of technology. It's not just, writing an abstract. I mean, it's very, very technical work. So for me, I have an undergraduate degree in biochemistry and molecular biology. I have a master's in electrical engineering, and I use that on a regular basis to understand what my clients are doing as well, if not better than them in some situations, because I have to write very detailed technical disclosures of their inventions. It can sometimes be hundreds of pages of technical disclosure that I'm gonna have to write. I have to draft drawings, I have to draft description, I have to really understand the technology. So that's the reason why there's a requirement to sit for the patent bar of having an undergraduate degree or equivalent experience in something like engineering, whether that be mechanical engineering or software engineering, electrical engineering, or things like the sciences, like the biological sciences, even things like physics can be a thing that can allow folks to sit for the patent bar. Go to the uspto.gov website to look at the specifics. That has all the information about the specific degrees you need to have or how to have an equivalent experience. A lot of times that's going to be having a certain amount of coursework in related classes, even if you don't actually have an undergrad degree, but that can change from time to time. So go to uspto.gov to figure out what those requirements are. So I mentioned that you don't actually have to be an attorney to sit for the patent bar. You just need to have this undergraduate degree, and this is actually how I started my career in patents. So So what happens if you just have an undergraduate degree and you sit for the patent bar? Then you become what is called a patent agent. You're not an attorney, but you can represent clients before the United States Patent and Trademark Office. The big difference is patent agents can't do the things that an attorney can do. Things like performing infringement analyses, because determining infringement, that relates to the law. Law determines whether there's infringement or not. And then of course things like drafting non-disclosure agreements, doing licensing deals, any sort of contractual stuff, anything that attorneys are required to do, patent agents can't do that. But most patent attorneys, they're going to be doing effectively the same thing that a patent agent is going to be doing. And that is going to be drafting patent applications, filing them at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and working them through the examination process at the USPTO until hopefully the application is allowed and then is granted as an issued patent. I would say, at least for my work, I'm doing 95% of the stuff that a patent agent is doing. So let me tell you kind of how I started out my career. So I got an undergraduate degree in biochemistry and molecular biology, went to law school, and during my first semester of law school, I worked my ass off, studied for the patent bar, and passed the patent bar in my first semester of law school, and I started practicing as a patent agent. And so, I was doing the same things very much that I'm doing now. So again, drafting patent applications, filing them at the USPTO, and working them through the examination process. So that's one thing to consider when you're thinking about a career in patents and patent law is you can go, any step that you want. You could become an attorney and then pass the patent bar and become a patent attorney, or like me, become a patent agent and then become a patent attorney. So there are different routes. As far as the time with these things, the thing that's going to be common is having at least an undergraduate degree or some sort of equivalent schooling. So you're probably going to have an undergraduate degree, or you're going to spend a lot of time in school, and that's going to be is definitely going to be a baseline. So you're probably a 4-year degree, or it's going to be time that's going to be similar to a 4-year degree. Now law school is typically going to be 3 years, and then sitting for the patent bar, it can take a long time to study for the patent bar. I mean, I spent a good 4 or 5 months studying for it. It's not something that should be taken lightly. You should really spend a lot of time doing studying for things. So, I would say, plan, I'd say 4 to 6 months, maybe longer, depending on if you're really busy, to study and sit for the patent bar. So, you have your undergraduate degree, which is, going to be about 4 years. Going to law school and becoming an attorney, that's about 3 years. And then sitting for the patent bar, like I said, give it as much time as you can, something like 4 to 6 months to study and sit for it ideally, maybe longer if you're really busy. And there are a lot of people who do it in that order. They go to undergrad, they go to law school, and then they sit for the patent bar. But like for me, I went to law school and I sat for the patent bar at the same time. So there are ways to sort of reduce the time that it takes to become a patent attorney. Now, I talked about earlier about, okay, what are the careers that you can have without becoming a patent attorney or being able to practice before becoming a patent attorney? And one of the options is being a patent agent. Like I said, you can pass the patent bar as long as you have an undergraduate degree in some sort of technical science or engineering. Then you can be a patent agent, or we have folks at our firm who are called patent scientists, and these are people who haven't even passed the patent bar. They definitely have a strong technical background that's required to work with folks, and these are people who they are going to work with us as technical writers. Maybe they work directly with clients and they'll draft patent applications. They can't actually directly represent people at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, but under supervision of a patent agent or patent attorney, these folks can be doing that kind of work. So keep that in mind as well. You may be able to get a job working as what we call a patent scientist. There are all sorts of different names that these people are called. There's no official name for somebody who works in patent law but doesn't have a law degree or hasn't sat for the patent bar. But at my firm, we call them patent scientists. So keep that in mind as well. That may be a way to have a full career working in patents without actually ever having to become an attorney or pass the patent bar. Or if you just want to pass the patent bar, there are people who have full careers as patent agents. or you can become a patent agent and then decide to go to law school and then become a patent attorney. Some people do that. So there's a lot of different options, and there's a lot of different tracks to having a career in patents. Becoming a patent attorney is only one option. There's a lot of different other ways. So if you got any value out of this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate it. And subscribe to the channel for more info on patents and patent careers. Hit that little bell icon so you don't miss any important videos. And I'd love to know your comments down below. Are you a patent agent? Have you thought about becoming a patent agent or a patent attorney? Where are you in your journey with this? Do you have any additional questions about things or have any ideas for videos? Also, be sure to check out the rest of our channel. We have a bunch of other videos on what it's like to practice as a patent attorney, how to consult with clients on things. Check out those. So yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.